Hey people, how's it going? Welcome to another video. Welcome to a fun little collection update. So I'm sure, as I've stated before in the past about vinyls and several videos in the past, it takes me a while to build up new albums because vinyls in New Zealand are incredibly dear, and I have to do pretty much a collection video once every 6 months or so because it's not worth just showing 3 or 4 at a time. So before you have to build up like at least 10 or so before the video is worth it. So we're finally doing it. Like I said, it's been a while since my last collection one. I'm pretty sure the last one was in like 2022. So but obviously I've gotten more albums since then, but they've popped up in different videos. These ones are more or less completely like brand new and haven't been shown on the channel yet. There might be like, I think there's one immediately that I can immediately think of that I have shown, but like I say, it's virtually brand new. So without further ado, I reckon we get straight into it. It's obviously mostly hard rock and heavy metal. There's one Wildcard album in here, which is super fun, and I can't wait to explain that one to you. But yeah, I reckon we've got 12 albums to get through, so I reckon we just get straight into it. Starting, they're not in any order, it's not a ranking, it's just a collection update. So the first one that we've got wasn't actually intended to be part of my collection. I bought this as a gift for father. His birthday is coming up in a few months, and I thought, you know what, this one will be nice for him. I can't believe that it got repressed and available in New Zealand and available in our town, let alone having to travel to a big city for it. I'm talking about the debut album from 70s British glam rock, pop rock icons Slade, and their incredible debut Beginnings. Now, as you can tell, this is Ambrose Slade, so this is before they really became who they were. This album is from 1969, I'm pretty sure, and right there, 1969, and this is a splatter one of transparent red and yellow. I haven't actually opened it yet because, like I say, this wasn't intended for me. This was supposed to be for Dad, so that's why it's unopened yet, so I can't actually show you the yellow splatter. But just the fact that this exists today in New Zealand is insane. The reason that I've got it now is because he went to the shop the other day and turns out that they've restocked this one, so he's now got his own version. So I guess this one's mine now, so it is what it is. If you're a fan of Slade, if you're familiar with the original writers of Come On Feel the Noise, then I'm sure you've heard some more stuff. But if you're not, did you know that Come On Feel the Noise was a cover? These guys originally wrote it in 1973, so not off this album, obviously. This one, a bit like most rock 60s albums, this one's a bit cover loaded. There's a lot of covers on here. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head which ones are the covers, apart from Born to Be Wild. But it's a fun song. Fly Me High is probably my favorite, but I'm pretty sure that's a cover as well. I remember Dad telling me when we ranked all of Slade. If you're interested in that, go watch it. It's quite fun. Yeah, so a random little one to have in the collection now. That's Ambrose Slade's debut Beginnings from 1969. Next up is an album that, yeah, like I said, is brand new, but it's actually featured in a video that goes live tonight, so you'll probably see that before you see this video. Anyway, I'm talking about Within Temptation's debut, Enter. This one, again, I've just released a video called the Big Four Symphonic Metal Debut Albums Ranked thing. It's what I do, and I've put Within Temptation as part of the Big Four Symphonic Heavy Metal bands, and I recognized this cover after listening to it on Spotify for a good few while, and I was like, hey, I know that lady. And that I didn't realize that it was going to be available in the shop in New Zealand, so I thought, you know what, it's not that expensive, I'll grab it. So this album is awesome. This one is from 1990, off the top of my head, I can't remember. Is it 1997? I think it's 97. This one obviously isn't. This is a repress from 2022, according to the back. And if you're familiar with Within Temptations and you like their stuff and you haven't heard the debut, go check it out. It's honestly so cool. It's a beautifully slick, it's glossy, that's the word. The album cover is very, very glossy. It's not a gatefold or anything like that. It's just, single LP, very standard. Inside we get a little booklet of the band looking awesome and serious there, and then you open it up with all the lyrics and whatnot, so that's pretty cool to be able to understand all that. And on the back is a beautiful gothic looking dead girl with a rose, very Snow Whitey Sleeping Beauty type vibe, so that's awesome. The actual vinyl itself is a beautiful transparent red pinkish thing to probably match the color of like her roses and stuff. So that's kind of sweet and nice. I didn't expect that when I bought it, so that's pretty funky. So yeah, if you like symphonic metal and you haven't heard the debut from Within Temptation, I highly recommend you go check it out. That's Enter from 1990. I think it's 1997. Now this next one is, in terms of heavy metal, a bit of another wild card. This one next up is Ricky Wakeman's Journey to the Center of the Earth. This one is a random one. I bought this off Facebook Marketplace for like a tenner. So I was like, go on, why not? I've got King Arthur, and that album's amazing. This album is another, obviously big, massive, grandiose concept album of the story of Journey to the Center of the Earth. It's fully, well, I'll say it's progressive rock, isn't it? It's two sides. Obviously, it's 4 songs. This album, the official release of this album, is live. There's not actually a studio recording of it, so that's kind of cool. When I listen to this album now, I remember about a year ago, just before my little boy was born, I was on a spiel of doing like my favorite album from every year, and from like 1970 all the way up to like 2019. And while I was looking for like the early 70s stuff, because I don't listen to a lot of 70s music, this popped up. And I remember Mum saying ages ago, oh, you should check out Rick Wakeman if you like that, whatever we were talking about. And I was like, but I never did until he was born. And this came out in 1974, and this isn't my favorite album from 1974, funnily enough. Slades and Flame is, but yeah, I just saw this was cheap, and I was like, you know what, that's fun. So if you like big, massive, progressive, keyboard-driven stuff, Rick Wakeman's Journey to the Center of the Earth, as well as King Arthur for that matter, will do you well. So yeah, go check that one out if you haven't. All right, classic death metal now. Morbid Angel's second album, Blessed Are the Sick. I ranked all of Morbid Angel's albums not too long ago, about maybe, how long ago was it? 6 months, 3 months ago? I hadn't heard much of Morbid Angel prior to that ranking, other than the name and a couple of songs off Covenant here and there. And I'll spoil it for you. This was my number 1 ranked Morbid Angel album. I just thought it was cool, man. Altars of Madness is a great album, don't get me wrong, as is Covenant. But excuse me, but for me, there was something cool and special about Blessed Are the Sick. I loved the fact that it had like several instrumentals on it, and like it was this album was dedicated to Mozart, I think. So like I loved the vibe of Blessed Are the Sick. I thought it was such a cool album. There's the back there looking all evil and stuff with the track listings on the back. There's a lot of songs on here, but like honestly, Fall from Grace was great. Doomsday I remember loving. Blessed Are the Sick / Even Rats, so good. Unholy, Blasphemous, Abominations, Desolate Ways. It's a great album, honestly. If you're into death metal and you want to see where it comes from, go check Morbid Angel out. They won't disappoint you. Gatefolded this one with a mega awesome looking picture of the band. That's pretty boss. Pretty sure this one's just black. There's the sheet there with some lyrics, and you flip it around, there's some more lyrics. This one's just straight black, so that's nice and slick. But yeah, honestly, fantastic album. If you're into death metal, this is a perfect example of like early death metal days. So yeah, I can't recommend Blessed Are the Sick enough. So yeah, that one there, pretty damn cool. Just realized like the trend I've got here of debuts, other than Blessed Are the Sick, that's the first not debut we've talked about. The next one I'm talking about is another debut from Florida, funnily enough, just the same as Morbid Angel. Trivium's debut, From Ember to Inferno. This was a birthday present. My birthday was last month, so it was a real nice time to haul on to add some albums to the collection. And I ranked Trivium a good while ago, over 2 years ago now, and it was great to go through all of their stuff, especially the early debut stuff. Like honestly, this album was boss. They were so young when they were doing this. Like the riffs and the songs that are on here for the age that they were at is just ridiculous. Like Pillars of Serpents is awesome. I remember Fugue being cool. Requiem was awesome, but the title track on this album was pretty damn amazing. It's so catchy. It's so cool. Side 2 is boss. When My Hatred, When All Light Dies, A View of Burning Empires. It's a very epic album, despite it being like new wave metalcore or whatever Trivium come under. Gatefolded again with all the lyrics inside, so that's kind of cool. You got to study that to read. This is obviously double LP, and I'm pretty sure this one's nice and slick as well. Yeah, look at this. This one comes under, I don't know what you call that, like smoky marble type stuff, fire, flames, Inferno. It matches the vibe of the album cover itself, so that's pretty damn awesome. I think that's me. There's no real photo of the band. Yeah, it's just the album and then the songs on the back with the lyrics in the middle. So, you know, if you're a fan of Trivium and you like the heavier Ascendancy Crusade type stuff, and you for some reason haven't heard the beginnings of it, I highly recommend you go backwards and check the debut out, From Ember to Inferno, from, I'm not sure when this came out, I want to say, I've got 2003 in my head, but I'm not 100% sure, and once again, it doesn't tell me on the back, so that's annoying. But yeah, that's Trivium's debut, From Ember to Inferno. Next up is a classic, and for once again, it's not a debut. We're talking about Iron Maiden's amazing album, one of my favorites, The Number of the Beast. And you're thinking, oh really, you don't have that on LP? Well, plot twist, my friend. It's the triple LP with Beast over Hammersmith on it as well. I did my ranking of Iron Maiden live albums ranked, and Beast over Hammersmith is my favorite. That one is number one for me. To me, it's just perfect, you know. It's absolute, I just love everything about that. You know, Bruce is on there singing. It's a monster set list. Like it's pretty much most of the Number of the Beast album, along with a bunch of Paul songs, obviously from the first two albums, giving how fresh it is in their career, and songs like Prowler and Phantom of the Opera, and just like what else is on there? Murders in the Rue Morgue, Wrathchild, Run to the Hills, The Prisoner, Sanctuary, Running Free, Acacia Avenue, Transylvania's on here as well. You know, it's an absolute boss killer set list, honestly. And it's a goddamn heavy LP, so it's triple. So this album comes with the original, well, you know, it comes with the Number of the Beast vinyl, so I've now got two versions of that, and the double LP of the live show. So it's a monster of an LP, it's a monster of an album, and that's going to be a good fun time for when Saturday night rolls around. So yep, that's the set list and the track listing of both albums. Some snippets there. These are just black LPs, there's nothing fancy about them. Like, you know, the pictures are pretty awesome. I won't take all of it out because it's just, you know, there's so much going on. Like, you know, there's pictures and lyrics and tour dates, as you can see there. So honestly, this is a mouthful. It's great. Beast over Hammersmith, along with the Number of the Beast album. You know, it's so cool. It's a great album. If you haven't heard the Beast over Hammersmith LP, like if you haven't heard the show, then I highly recommend you go listen to it. It's amazing. So yeah, definitely go check that one out. Now this next one is the wild card one, the one that's not exactly heavy metal. Now if so, just bear with. This one is a soft spot of an album. Like, you know, I love metal and all that jazz, and I hate country. However, Neil Young's Harvest Moon is the only exception. This album is the complete opposite to everything that I've talked about today. This is calming, this is peaceful, this is tranquil. It's just, no, my poor little boy's trying to sleep, but he's got a cough. So if you can hear that, that's what that is. You know, it's tranquil, it's amazing, it's quiet, it's soft, it's just, it's amazing. I remember when I hear this album, I get pulled back to when I was really, really, really small. I remember Mum and Dad playing this album, and there are certain melodies in here that when I hear it, I'm just like, oh, that's right, I remember this. Yeah, I just saw this in the shop and I was like, do you know what? It's not a party album by any means. This is the album you put on when you want people to leave. It's honestly just awesome. This is from 1992. Yep, obviously this is the repressed one. This isn't an original one. It's a gatefolded one, but there are only 3 sides. So side 4 is blank, you know. But what's cool about this one, again, what's cool about when you buy albums and you don't realize they're like special until you get them home or whatnot, this one, just like my Evanescence Fallen LP, is clear. Sorry, it's like glass. It's a clear window that you can see through. So that's neat, you know. Didn't expect that from that. I would have just been fine with black. So yeah, it's always fun when you buy an album just off the cuff, and then you get home and you're like, oh, did you know it comes with an 85-page booklet? You're like, oh no. So you know, that's cool. So yeah, if you like country, if you like calmer kind of music, I'd recommend giving this one a go. It's catchy, it's fun, it's soft, and it's just awesome. Unknown Legend is great, From Hank to Hendrix is nice, Harvest Moon, the title track, is awesome, but my favorite is probably Dreamin' Man. I've always loved that song. So yeah, if you like something that is soft, go check out this. That's Neil Young's Harvest Moon. Next up is an album where I don't know what genre to put them in. Sleep Tokens, Take Me Back to Eden. This was another birthday present from a very, very good friend. Thank you very much, my brother. This one is Glow in the Dark vinyl. Now I've got an Ailstorm Glow in the Dark LP, but I've never seen it glow in the dark. So like, you know, does it have to be charged under light for it to be glowed in the dark first? Who knows? But this, you know, love or hate Sleep Token, I'm one of the lovers. You know, to me, this album is just, it's a whirlwind of emotions. It's a whirlwind of music. It's insane. If you haven't listened to it, I'm not going to roast you, but I do recommend you just give it a try and see if you can handle it, because like, it's pretty awesome. You know, Chokehold is a great opening. The Summoning, there's so many different references to so many different styles of music that it can trip up some people, but once you get used to it and you expect it, it's much better. Granite is just beautiful. Agua Regia, so much fun. Are You Really Okay? That's beautiful too. Do You Wish That You Loved Me? That's nice. Take Me Back to Eden, the title track, is probably going to be my most played song of 2024. You know, it's that good. I'm playing it that much. Honestly, it's wild. This LP is insane. Yeah, this band is insane. I haven't actually listened. This is their third album. I haven't actually listened to the stuff that came before, so I do need to go and do that. But yeah, check it out if you're curious. That's Sleep Tokens, Take Me Back to Eden. Now for something a little bit local. Imperial Slave's second album, Still at Large. So these guys are a local Palmy, New Zealand band, and they come under, I personally chuck them under the melodic death metal umbrella of genres. If you like thrash, if you like death metal, if you like speed, if you like technicality, if you like harsh vocals, fast drums, this is the band, this is the album for you. This album came out on December 15 last year, 2023. It's an all-out onslaught of thrash death metal. Do you know what I mean? Like it's an aggressive album. I won't say it's concept-y, but there are occurring themes within the songs. Do you know what I mean? The album is called Still at Large, and given the album cover and the album vibe, you know, of their little mascot dude, Slave or Death, Who Rules the World, and Still at Large. It's very it's about very, very dangerous beings, dangerous, angry people, like serial killers and just all horrible things that humans can do. Do you know what I mean? Like Slave or like Exterminate, that's about Hitler and what he got up to. 536 is the year of some Japanese, I could be wrong, I'm probably wrong, of some emperor doing real terrible things. Priestiality, which I think is a fantastic name, is about the church and, you know, what they get up to. Still at Large, the title track, is about the son of Sam. That's it. Yeah, honestly, it's a great album. It's aggressive. To me, it blows away the debut, and I just think it's pretty damn awesome. You know, it's wild. It's so cool. I've seen them live twice, and they're awesome. They're going to Japan soon to open for Nile. That's pretty fun. They've opened they're pretty much turning into the band that opens for every big metal band that comes here in the small clubs. You know, they've opened for Vader, they've opened for Suffocation, and a bunch of others that escape me right now. But like any big name that comes here, you can guarantee these guys are on the bill, and so right, because they're goddamn awesome. So yeah, that's, if you like thrash death metal type vibe, Imperial Slaves, Still at Large is the ticket for you. And then the last two are by the same band, so we'll just get straight into those. Bathory's Blood, Fire, Death. I mean, it's a fantastic album. It's iconic. I'm annoyed that I didn't own it prior to, you know, it took me this long to get it, but like, thankfully I did. And this album is easily top 3 of Bathory's discography. It's that perfect blend between like between Viking and black metal. You know, it's a pretty epic, triumphant, evil sounding album, if you can grasp that. Everything about it is perfect. When Odin's ride over Nordland, like just that in itself, that name is just wild. A Fine Day to Die, you know, no matter what, if we live or die, it's a fine day to die if we win or lose. Pace Till Death is cool. Holocaust, that's fantastic. For Those Who Died, the title track, Blood, Fire, Death. When I first heard that song, I knew that this album was something else. You know, I was just like, yeah, this goes above Supreme. If you like Vikings and history and all that jazz, if you like Nordic music, go check out Blood, Fire, Death from Bathory. It's a bit more aggressive than, you know, obviously it's coming off black metal stuff, but honestly it's so good. Blood, Fire, Death, go listen to it. And then the last one is another Bathory album, and that's The Return, their sophomore album. Some people will defend this as like the definitive black metal album. You know, there are so many black metal bands today that reference this album as their inspiration. Like, you know, I think Watain loved this album. I think Cradle of Filth loved this album. I'm not sure, but you know, there are so many people that go, oh, The Return is what my inspiration came from, and rightly so. It's a beautiful, heavy, dirty, disgusting black metal album. You know, it's simple, and compared to the debut, like honestly, I prefer the debut more to The Return, but like the shift in it is insane. Like the production gets thicker and it's not so tinny, and like the songs on it are just a lot harsher, you know, like it's honestly insane. Both these are just plain black. Comes with a single lyric sheet, so that's pretty sweet. There's no picture or mention of the band anywhere. Yeah, honestly, it's like, is it Born for Burning? I think that one's just insane. You know, Possessed and The Rite of Darkness, and just, honestly, it's a fantastic album, and it makes sense as to why people deem it as, like, you know, the ultimate black metal album. But yeah, honestly, if you like black metal and you haven't heard where it originated from, I highly recommend you start checking these guys out, because it'll blow you away. That's Bathory's The Return from 1985. Awesome as team, we did it. Thank you so much for sitting here and hanging out with me while I sit here and take you through my more recent purchases of my vinyl collection. Do you have these albums? Do you like these albums? What's your favorite songs of any of the albums that I mentioned before? If you can hear that coughing, I'm sorry. He is asleep, so don't stress. I'm not neglecting him, I promise. Keep an eye out for the next video. Hopefully we'll get a ranking up soon. I'm excited about that one. But until that happens, everybody, stay inside, stay safe, jam those musics, and I'll see you all in the next video. See you later.